also sharing that insight. Please stay with us as we come back to you. Now we stay in the region. Germany has reclaimed China as its largest trading partner in the first 8 months of this year, surpassing the US according to preliminary data. Trade with China had totaled as 163.4 billion euros, while US trade was 162.8 billion euros. The US had been Germany's top partner last year. US tariffs have hit German exports, which fell 7.4% to 99.6 billion euros, with August alone down 23.5% year-on-year basis. Exports to China have dropped 13.5% to 54.7 billion euros, but imports have risen 8.3% to 108.8 billion euros, raising concerns over dumping prices and Germany's dependence. Analysts have warned that with a strong euro and tariff pressure, exports to the US are unlikely to recover soon, while imports from China continue to grow. Now for this discussion, we welcome back Professor Stefan Nagy. He's a professor at International Christian University, joins us live from Tokyo. Thank you very much, Professor, for staying with us. Now, how will China's emergence as Germany's top trading partner reshape Germany as well as Europe's economic and political alignment amid rising tensions with US as well?
So what we've seen is, as the US-China strategic rivalry and tariff war ensues, China has tried to find other markets and other countries to offload its products and become more prominent trade partners. This is a natural byproduct of the competition as the United States puts tariffs on Chinese products and they're looking to sell products because it's a market-based economy. For Germany, this makes it difficult for Germany to take tough policies on China, whether it's security policies or having joint policies on to address China's stranglehold on rare earth materials. And it also makes it more difficult for Germany to deal with other issues that are related to Germany and the EU, such as the Russia-Ukraine war. It's important for the United States to understand that this balance or this relationship with China will make it more difficult to address many issues, whether it's NATO alignment, dealing with the Russia invasion of Ukraine, or the broader, and I think most important challenge is trying to prevent authoritarian states from revising the rules-based order that we've become accustomed to in the post-Cold War period. Lastly, and I think importantly, the bigger trade relationships that China has with Germany will probably negatively impact how the European Union functions on other issues that China has some kind of interest in, whether that's ports or shared definitions of human rights, or even definitions about democracy. Germany is a strong democracy. Its post-World War II history is very much rooted in understanding its Nazi past, and it's been a champion of human rights and democracy. But trade relations has changed that to a certain extent, meaning that trade and economics can affect the decision-making of leaders, and this affects the unity of the European Union and its unified approach to challenges facing the Union.
And Professor, building on your answer, and you explained how intertwined all these are. So are these tariffs on German exports accelerating Europe's pivot towards China, and what long-term risks could this pose for transatlantic relations?
So in my understanding, the tariffs that have been applied by the United States on many countries, including Germany, yes, are aimed to try and recalibrate trade relations and decrease the deficit that exists between the United States and countries as varied as Germany to Japan to South Korea. Some of this is understandable. Some of it's being used to shape security behavior or positions on migration, etc. And in this sense, there is some, we can understand some of these policies. But the tariffs are indeed, I think, pushing not only Europe, but other countries to look to countries that will not give them tariffs and open up large markets so that they can continue to have profitable businesses. I think once the Trump administration has a better realization of the consequences of some of its policies, they may step back. But again, I think we're going to have to wait until the midterms, in which the American public does make a decision about the Trump administration. If he does well and retains the same number of seats, or does better, we're going to see continuity in trade policy and tariff pressure on Germany and other European countries, and this will probably have negative long-term effects on transatlantic relations. But if he does poorly and he adjusts, reduces tariffs, we may see a more unified approach to dealing with China, and that means Germany trying to get more access to the United States and North America, allowing it to have more strategic autonomy as it deals with China, the most disruptive actor in the international system today.
And Professor, you've already mentioned a U.S. might rethink about this after midterms, but how do you think U.S. will view China overtaking it as Germany's top trading partner in recent or upcoming weeks? What steps might Washington take or Trump say to protect its economic and strategic interest in Europe in short term?
That's a great question. So it depends how much he prioritizes Germany as a partner, and how does he visualize changing those dynamics? In the short term, it's very difficult to fundamentally change the fact that China will overtake the United States as Germany's biggest partner. But there's a lot of ways to manage this with the Germans. Pressure can be applied for the Germans to buy more, to open up their market, to deregulate more. Pressure can be applied to the European Union in the same way, or there could be creative ways of shifting or penalizing Germany for trading so much with China. There's a lot of different formulas ahead. The Trump administration, especially President Trump, is anything but predictable. But one thing that we can understand is that they do want to have better trade balances between their allies, friends, as well as adversaries. And they're engaged in creative ways to do this. And they're open up to creative bargains that contribute to the Trump administration's general approach to making America great again. What can Germany do for itself? What can it do for the United States? This is the formula that I think the Germans need to be thinking about if they want to reset their relationships with the United States. And lastly, I think we should be clear that this may be Germany's way of trying to shift U.S. policy and shift U.S. policy to focus on Germany and the EU and the economic synergy that does exist, and a way of asking for more U.S. investment and to open up markets and to increase the trade relationships between Germany and the U.S. and the EU and the U.S. in general.
Right. With that, I would like to thank Professor Stefan Nagy for joining us and sharing that insight throughout our news. Now we move on. Taiwan's defense ministry has said that it will deepen cooperation with the United States. This includes reciprocal visits and observing military exercises to help maintain regional peace. The U.S. remains Taiwan's most important backer, providing defense support under U.S. law despite no formal ties. Defense Minister Wellington Koo will update lawmakers on high-level strategic dialogues, security cooperation, and joint military exercises with the U.S. China has stepped up pressure, conducting regular war games and joint combat readiness patrols, which Taiwan calls psychological coercion and a regional challenge. This ministry adds it shares intelligence as well as technology through international channels. This improves early warning and rapid response capacity against potential Chinese military actions. And that's a wrap on the China Report. Keep watching NewsX World for more news.